Why does money control our thoughts, even when we already have enough? Why do we keep pushing the same boulder uphill, working harder, saving better, planning smarter, only to feel like the summit keeps moving? You can hit every target, build the perfect budget, and still feel behind. It's like chasing a horizon that always knows how to run faster. We're told that financial success brings peace. But what if peace never arrives? Not because we're doing something wrong, but because we're trapped in a pattern we can't see. The truth is, most people aren't greedy. They're tired. Tired of feeling that every small win disappears before it can mean anything. Tired of wondering why more never feels enough. And it's not their fault. What looks like ambition is often just anxiety with better branding. Psychologists call it the scarcity loop, a state where the mind mistakes survival for progress. It's not about wanting too much. It's about feeling too little. Welcome to Why We Can't Stop Chasing Money, the psychology of money, money, money. Because behind every chase isn't greed, it's a human brain doing its best to feel safe. Imagine logging into your bank account after payday. Relief floods in. For a moment, bills clear, plans restart, a sense of control returns. But within days, that comfort evaporates. Suddenly, you're checking balances again, counting days, calculating what-ifs. This is the scarcity loop at work. According to the book Behavioral Economists written by Sendil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir, scarcity doesn't just describe a lack of money, it describes a mental capture. When you feel deprived of time, security, or opportunity, your brain narrows its focus. It becomes a spotlight locked on the immediate. The future fades. All that matters is relief. That's why people in scarcity mode make choices that seem irrational from the outside, overspending, undersaving, chasing quick wins. It's not weakness, it's bandwidth collapse. When your attention is consumed by survival, long-term logic simply doesn't load. You can be intelligent, disciplined, even wealthy, but if scarcity hijacks your attention, it still drives the wheel. And in that tunnel vision, money stops being a tool and starts being oxygen. You breathe it in just to exhale the next worry. That's the invisible trap, not financial shortage but mental shortage. A life run by constant calculation instead of quiet confidence. Picture a glowing wheel spinning endlessly. Each rotation begins with tension, a need to fix, pay, earn, or prove. The moment you satisfy it, relief hits like dopamine. But then the calm fades, and the next worry replaces it. That's the scarcity loop. In the book Scarcity, the authors found that the human brain under pressure releases a burst of focus and satisfaction when a scarcity gap closes, but the cycle resets immediately. It's a built-in addiction to temporary relief. This explains why even people with rising incomes keep feeling unsafe. Their context changes, but their mindset doesn't. You're not chasing money. You're chasing relief from the thought of losing it. And each relief moment reinforces the chase. When you have too little, the authors write, you give it too much meaning. The irony is, the harder you work to escape scarcity, the more attention it steals. If this idea is hitting home, let me know in the comments. Tell me what part of this message connects most with your own money story. Now let's look deeper at how scarcity quietly shapes our decisions, our patience, and even our sense of time. Scarcity doesn't just live in your wallet, it lives in your calendar. When the mind feels deprived, it compresses time. You start thinking in pay cycles instead of decades, bills instead of goals, reactions instead of plans. Psychologists call this tunneling, the narrowing of focus that happens when pressure hijacks your awareness. You see only what's near because the distance feels unsafe to imagine. That's why financial stress makes people choose short-term comfort over long-term gain. The brain under stress prioritizes immediate certainty, even if it costs future freedom. Someone earning $5,000 a month but living in scarcity will still spend impulsively to feel relief, because in that moment, emotional oxygen matters more than math. It's not bad habits, it's biology. When your brain feels under threat, it seeks instant resolution. The purchase, the plan, the reassurance, all of them become temporary relief valves. Abundance, on the other hand, widens the frame. When you feel safe, you plan further. You invest, delegate, delay gratification. You think in seasons, not seconds. You start to measure progress in rhythm instead of reaction. But the paradox is this: you can't think your way out of scarcity while you're still feeling it. The mind has to breathe before it can build. That's why financial advice alone often fails, because logic can't override survival instincts. The first step isn't earning more, it's seeing more, understanding the pattern, naming the loop, watching it instead of feeding it. Awareness creates space, and space restores perspective. When you learn to recognize scarcity thinking, you stop reacting to every financial wave and start noticing the tide. You begin to see that money stress isn't just about numbers, it's about bandwidth, and bandwidth expands with calm. The next story will show exactly how one person escaped the tunnel, not by earning more, but by learning to see clearly again. Meet Alex. At 43, he earned well, saved consistently, and still felt broke. Every dip in the market made his chest tighten. Every unexpected bill felt like failure. He wasn't chasing wealth, he was chasing certainty. His mind lived in a loop of numbers and anxiety. One night, after refreshing his investment app for the 10th time, he noticed something strange. His portfolio hadn't changed, but his heart rate had. The numbers weren't the problem. The relationship was. He realized he had mistaken awareness for control. So Alex made a rule: check finances only once a week. At first, the silence was unbearable. The gap between updates felt like free fall. But over time, something began to shift. The less he looked, the calmer he felt. And ironically, the smarter his choices became. He stopped reacting to every market fluctuation and started focusing on consistency. Without the noise of constant monitoring, he could finally think long-term. He started tracking habits instead of headlines, patterns instead of panic. Slowly, the stress curve flattened. His income didn't double, his peace did. The time he used to spend checking numbers, he now used to refine his systems, automating bills, pre-scheduling savings, reviewing his goals monthly instead of daily. His clarity returned. Alex discovered what most financial experts overlook. Control doesn't come from watching your money. It comes from trusting your process. When he stopped obsessing over outcomes, he reconnected with the rhythm of patience. He learned that financial maturity isn't about predicting the future. It's about preparing calmly for it. Real security, he realized, is measured in emotional stability, not just net worth. The moment Alex stopped treating money like a mirror of his worth, he began to build genuine freedom. And that's where transformation begins, not in earning power, but in perspective. Let's explore how you can build that same calm into your own routine, one decision, one system, and one breath at a time. When you feel scarce, every decision feels high stakes. When you feel steady, every decision becomes just data. The difference isn't the balance, it's the bandwidth. Scarcity shrinks perspective. Clarity expands it. That's why your first task isn't to earn more, it's to reclaim mental space. In Scarcity, the authors reveal a crucial truth. When you feel poor, you borrow from your future self. You sacrifice tomorrow's options for today's comfort. But when you build small, repeatable systems, budgeting, automation, buffers, you return those options back. That's when money stops being a chase and starts orbiting around calm. It's not about control, it's about rhythm. You don't command the tide, you learn when to move with it. Because financial peace isn't about predicting outcomes. It's about designing consistency. You create the kind of system that keeps working even on the days you feel uncertain. The deeper truth is that stability isn't a destination. It's a rhythm of decisions that repeat quietly, almost invisibly, in the background. Every automated transfer, every budget check, every small margin you build is a declaration that you trust the process more than the panic. That's the hidden shift from scarcity to security, when you stop managing crises and start managing flow. The calm investor isn't calmer because they're richer. They're calmer because they've built room to breathe. Every buffer you create, emotional or financial, gives you distance from the noise. That distance is where good decisions live. Now let's take that one step deeper, into clarity. Because when you can see your financial rhythm clearly, you no longer need to control it. You can trust it. That's when your relationship with money changes completely. It stops being a scoreboard and becomes a mirror, one that reflects your level of peace, not your level of possession. Before we move on, let me share something we're building for you, the Trip to Wealth Command Center. It's a simple but powerful Google Sheets system that visualizes your money like an investor's dashboard. It tracks your income, cash flow, and net worth, but most importantly, it helps you see your financial rhythm in real time. You'll see exactly where you are in your journey. You can join the early access waitlist below and lock in an exclusive discount. The truth is, clarity is the best protection against risk. When you can see your money clearly, you can design for both luck and uncertainty instead of reacting to them. Imagine finally feeling in command of your money, instead of the other way around. Like driving with a clean windshield after months of fog. You can't predict the storm, but you can build a stronger boat. And that's what most people miss. Financial strength isn't about control, it's about visibility. When you can visualize your flow, you stop overreacting to every wave. You realize that fear thrives in the dark, but once you turn on the light, the monsters shrink. That's what the command center is designed to do. It brings your full financial picture into focus, so every decision starts from truth instead of tension. Now let's talk about how to put this into practice. Track your monthly savings rate, fixed expenses, and emergency buffer. Don't aim for perfection, aim for awareness. Because awareness creates discipline naturally. When you can see your patterns, your habits improve on their own. That's the quiet magic of data meeting emotion. Wealth doesn't require control, it requires visibility. That's what keeps emotions steady when the world isn't. The truth is, you don't need to predict the next economic turn or market cycle. You just need to build systems that survive both. That's what separates those who panic from those who persist. The takeaway? Build margins before moments, protect peace before profit, and remember, luck favors the calm observer far more than the frantic competitor. Every system you build is a statement of confidence that the future will reward patience. That's the mindset that transforms wealth from something you chase into something you quietly compound. Let's close with the truth that brings peace back to your financial life. When money chooses you, it rarely asks permission. It arrives in moments of luck you didn't plan, and it disappears through risks you never predicted. But once you accept that rhythm, you stop chasing control and start mastering composure. You realize wealth isn't about winning, it's about lasting. Every dollar becomes a lesson in patience. Every challenge, a test of perspective. The world teaches you to measure success by accumulation, but real freedom lives in stability, in knowing that your peace doesn't rise and fall with your portfolio. So stop trying to outrun uncertainty. Learn to live gracefully within it. Because when you do, money stops feeling like chaos and starts feeling like conversation. It becomes something you can understand, manage, even enjoy. You begin to see that financial maturity is not about having everything, it's about needing less drama to feel complete. The more you understand money, the more it softens. You stop treating it like a finish line and start seeing it as a flow, something that passes through your life instead of defining it. That's the new definition of success, not accumulation, but calm, because calm compounds faster than panic ever will. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video, Why Saving Feels Pointless, until the 25-10-5 rule fixes it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to leave your comment below, especially if this video made you think differently. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next one, Money Magician.